to the Small and Supercharged podcast. I'm your host, Ria Freeman. Episode 2. Hello and welcome back to the Small and Supercharged podcast. Thank you for joining me again. Hoping you're going to hang out a lot with me, but 2 is a great start. So today I want to talk to you about something that really annoys me, and it's about all this scaremongering connected to social media algorithms. I see so much of this. Every time a new update is announced on any social media platform, you just see all the messages ping up about how it's the end of the world and how Facebook's dead and how Twitter's dead and how Instagram is dead and how everything is dying and dead because of this algorithm change. And I just, all the time I see it, I want to scream, just shut up, mainly. But I want to tell you why. And I also want to tell you why these changes, they're not a cause for you to panic, okay? Because the main thing is we need to realise here is they are not our platforms. We have the absolute luxury and privilege to use these platforms for free. Yeah, we can pay to advertise, I get that. But we can use these platforms for free to promote our businesses. That in itself is incredible. When some of these algorithm changes happen, it means that perhaps we need to pay to play a bit more, by which I mean pay to advertise, pay to boost your posts, pay to promote your posts in a wider way. But let's think about how we have historically been able to promote our businesses through advertising, through paying to play. The fact that now we can create amazing content to help get us known, get us out there, and that can cost us nothing. I mean, I appreciate time has a value, so I'm not saying it costs 0. That's amazing to me, okay? So I want to take you back a little way when Facebook announced that they were changing the way that posts for businesses were displayed in the newsfeed. Oh my lord, you would have thought that Facebook had announced they were coming to live in all your houses. The amount of panic that happened online was just, it was annoying. Everyone was whinging about how Facebook was screwing us over and how this and how that. And it just blew my mind that, for starters, it's like whinging about a free cup of tea not tasting very nice. Don't drink it then, or pay to have a better cup of tea. We're so lucky that we get the opportunity to be part of these platforms, to be part of this network. We don't have control over it, and that's why it's really important to grow our own following in different ways, which is a subject for numerous other podcasts. But maybe it should make us think about how vulnerable some businesses are to these changes that we cannot control. So if anything, if it encourages you to up your SEO, up your content marketing game, up your game on other channels and making sure you're getting to people in different ways, to build your newsletter and email list, to speak to your customers more, brilliant. Use these changes, use the changes that continuously happen as an impetus to do that, okay? But please don't lose your mind over it. So, when these new changes were announced, I literally saw posts all over Facebook. I completely understood the irony of that as well. Explaining how they're going to leave Facebook and how it's a joke now, and how a lot of these posts, let's be honest, were people who were looking to get paid to do something and looking to promote their own business services, about how they were going to cheat the algorithm. Please do not try and cheat any algorithm, okay? An algorithm works on a series of things that we don't know everything about. People don't reveal the in-depth elements of their algorithm. All you can do, and I really believe this, is do your best work, look at the response, adjust accordingly, and go again, okay? Rinse and repeat, I think people would call it. If you're putting out your best work, if you're putting out your best imagery, your best blog posts, your best content all the time, you can then see what works for people, and those things are going to get more people talking about it, more people liking it, more people sharing it, which is this engagement that Facebook is looking as one of the gauges for how it shows your posts, okay? And that will work with other platforms too. If you have a post and you put it out there and nothing happens and it's rubbish, It doesn't necessarily mean that an algorithm is screwing you over. What it could mean, and this is harsh, is that your post is rubbish. It could also mean you've placed it at the wrong time of day. It could also mean that maybe the imagery isn't as strong. It could perhaps mean that the title isn't getting people involved, isn't getting people clicking through. There are loads of different reasons. And one of the best ones that I heard was just your content isn't that good. And that is, I think I heard that on a podcast, someone was saying, look, if this is happening, you need to really examine what's going on in your own content before you start having a go at other people. The other thing I think is really important to think about when these big social media giants announce these changes, think about why they're doing it. A lot of people will say it's to make money. Okay, I get that. They're businesses. But think about it even harder. Facebook has got over 2 billion people using it. If their platform becomes full of adverts, promotions, rubbish content, do you think that their 2.2 billion people at the time of recording this, it's a lot of people, are going to keep coming back for more rubbish? No. And what that means is that less people use the platform, which means that less people are going to see your content because less people are using this platform, okay? If the community, that's where we're putting it, is getting really bored and detached from the news feed and they don't want to click on their apps, they don't want to look on their desktop at what's going on, your content's never going to get seen anyway, okay? So what happens is that they change the algorithm to ensure that their community is being looked after properly, to ensure they're getting the content that gets them interested, that makes them want to connect, makes them want to talk, makes them want to share, makes them want to like. Often this content isn't business content, okay? If people are saying, buy my, oh gosh, I'm looking around my office for inspiration, buy my sparkling water, buy it now, and it's just really poor quality content, no one's sharing that. No one's liking it, no one's commenting it, because it's really rubbish content. But if instead, let's use a water example again, because I have a bottle in front of me I'm trying to drink, and it says, did you know that drinking 8 glasses of water a day can do X, Y, and Z? That's really interesting content, okay? So you've taken a product, which is your bottle of water, and you've thought carefully about the content and how you're going to make it engaging, how you're going to make it interesting for people to share. Maybe what kind of things they put in their water to help them drink it, like lemons or limes or whatever. Maybe you're asking for ideas. Maybe you're in a competition. Maybe you do something like this. That's better content. That's going to get the engagement. That's going to help that. I recently ran a competition on my Facebook page when we had 1,000 members in the Smaller Supercharged group. And the reach for that was over 113,000. And it just was incredible. It did incredibly well. I did not pay a penny to promote that deliberately because I wanted to test a theory. It was good, shareable, interesting content that people wanted to get involved with, okay? It was very simple and it was amazing and I'm so grateful for people that got involved. But if that doesn't prove this theory, I don't know what does. It was good content. It was content that engaged people. It was shareable, it was likable, it was interesting to people. Competitions are usually interesting to people, I get that. And it helped support the community. They wanted to see it, they wanted to engage with it. Now, if Facebook didn't protect its community, it would hurt us all. If people did leave Facebook en masse, it would hurt us all. When magazines were really the only way of getting your message out there, which was a while ago, I admit, it was very, very limiting on what you could do. It cost a lot of money to pay and play, and it was the only option many businesses had. We are so lucky to have this, okay? Now, if you are putting out rubbish content, it's going to hurt anyway, but you need to look at your content. Don't blame any of the social media platforms for when you put out rubbish content and it does badly. That's on you. you need to address what you're doing. You need to do the research, the legwork. You need to look at what your audience actually care about, and you need to create content around that. There's going to be loads of ways you can do this, and a lot of it is trial and error. Everybody's audiences on social media is different. Obviously larger things work. So for example, engaging content is what you want. But if you are a photographer versus if you sell water, really obsessed with water today, what's going to engage your audience is going to be different. You need to think about your customer avatar. So that's your sort of your target market, your target customer. So what age are they? Are they male? Are they female? What stuff do they like? What stuff is going to interest that person? Because if you're a water brand and you're talking about photography of horses, they're probably not going to care that much. Some people will, but some won't. And on the flip side, if you're a photographer who photographs beautiful landscapes and you're telling people about the virtues of water, it doesn't work. But actually in the other places, it's really interesting. So you need to make sure that you are thinking about your customer and you're creating content that works for them. It should not all be sell, 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 sell. Social media has got the word social in it for a reason. It's important you respect your audience, you speak to them, you talk to them, you actually care about what they've got to say. It's the difference between going into a pub and going up to somebody and just shouting buy my product at them, or actually going up, getting to know them, listening to their responses to things, and obviously dropping in about your product or what you do, but doing it in an authentic, organic, interesting way, not just buy my product, buy my product. It's a case of wearing a bracelet or walking in and ramming a jewelry box under somebody's nose. It's a different animal. Social media is much more of a subtle art, and so it should be. The other reason that we shouldn't be panicking when people announce these huge things is that all the time these social media platforms are changing what they do. They are making tweaks. They are changing the way that things work. And I'm sure if you're anything like me, you'll log on regularly to your social media and you'll see that they've changed the way that something works. They've moved something. They've got a little new function button that's highlighted. There's always stuff changing and going on. Don't worry about it. Every time you put up a post, you should be looking at, did it do well? How could it do better? What worked, what didn't work, what are people saying in the comments that you can use to help create your next posts. It's all a changing, evolving life form essentially, and it's important to acknowledge this, to respect it, and to do the best you can, but to keep moving. Now, as I said at the start, if you are relying on one social media platform for your whole business, that's on you, and that's a really bad call. I know some people who don't have websites and who have all their everything running through a Facebook page. Please don't do this. If you do this, look at ways to make sure you are putting your eggs in more baskets. Get yourself a website. Start growing your email list. Do something that you own so you are not completely traumatized when any of these changes happen, because you realize what huge impact it could have on your business. You don't need to put yourself in that vulnerable position. You can make the changes now. If Facebook vanished tomorrow, my business would be fine. Obviously, from a social media point of view, it would be a bit of a kick in the teeth. But in terms of my clients, in terms of my promotion, in terms of my content marketing, I have got a lot of strings to my bow. I'm not saying they couldn't all be improved. Of course they could. Everybody could improve everything that they do. But when all your everything is on one platform that you don't own, you're putting yourself in a really, really, really dangerous situation from your business point of view. So if changing these algorithms, if all of this makes you do just one thing, don't panic. Just look at how you're going to spread your wings, how you're going to get onto other platforms, how you're going to make sure that you are in control of your own destiny. Social media is the most amazing place to be. It's the most amazing place to market your business. But also make sure that you have some owned real estate in the online world. That could be a website. I would go for a website. That could be a mailing list. I would do that too. That would also be being on other platforms and other channels. You want to spread your risk, to spread where you are. It's really, really important. So thanks so much for joining in to podcast number 2. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I have loved chatting to you, and I hope you've enjoyed my rambles. As always, if you have any questions, do let me know. If you've got any comments, let me know too. I'm very, very willing for that. And if you'd like to leave a review, that would be amazing as well. I'll speak to you very, very soon. Thank you.